Morning, everybody. Jeff here. Just figured I'd throw something up on YouTube because I've watched a bunch of videos of everybody overhauling old vintage jet skis. You know, obviously paint, vinyl can do amazing things. But I've got my 97 Sea-Doo GTS here. It was kind of that purple and yellow and orange graphics with vinyl. Stripped it completely of the vinyl, but now I'm going to do some painting. But one thing that's kind of a pain and doesn't really last that long is painting of the bumpers. So you can see here the old purple bumpers have been replaced, and I'm going to get a close-up here. I have this kind of vintage gray with a black insert. So I'm going to show you how I did that, and maybe that can help you avoid the peeling paint of your overhaul bumpers. Okay, decided to shoot this video a little bit late because I'm almost done with the project, but at least I can get the point across. As you can see here, it is a two-piece bumper all around. The nose front here, the nose has been removed, that bumper, and the back two corners. And I'll show you that in a second, but first thing I did here was spray that insert with what's called a vintage gray, and it's a vinyl spray paint. So it's made by Rust-Oleum, and I chose like this matte satin finish, kind of dark vintage gray. What's nice about this is it really sticks to the material that the bumper's made of, which is kind of this rubbery vinyl, and it's flexible, so it can take a little bit of abuse. But that's just the sides, and the insert I'll explain in a minute. So the corners, the nose in the front and the back corners, I went on eBay and purchased a couple old ones. You can see the style's a little bit different. We're going to go to a black in the corners. It's going to kind of give it a little accent. Got a newer one here. Here's my old purple one. I'll zip to the back. You can see I got the black corners in there just last night. So what's interesting is you get most of these, and yeah, they're really old. So they're all sun faded and beat. I'll show you a quick trick to get the surface back to looking pretty. So I call this trick knifing, and what you do is you take a utility blade here, brand new, nice and sharp, and you're going to run it perpendicular to the surface in your hand. Now this is obviously very dangerous. You have a bare knife in your hand, but you can protect the hand holding your piece and hold on really tight to the knife. And you're not digging into it, you're not cutting it, you're just actually scraping the old oxided sun-faded plastic off. It'll sound a little bit like fingers on a chalkboard, but as you can see, the virgin, untouched, unoxided plastic comes through. A little harder to do with this purple color. This was, the pigment in this pretty much bleached out, but it worked great on the black new ones that I have here. So I can do a little sun-faded spot here. And you're actually scraping away that old plastic. Now when you're done, you can kind of buff this with a towel, or what I like to do, hit it with a heat gun and kind of rub it out so it's nice and smooth and even. But those are the old purple ones. So that takes care of the nose and the back corners of a different color. I showed you how to paint the kind of back of the bumper, but the insert is kind of the biggest pain. You go out there on the internet and they're so expensive, and even if you wanted to go to a different color of the same vintage jet ski, they're all beat up just like yours. So this was a purple bumper with a purple insert, and simply enough, I just went on eBay and bought 40 feet of, in this case, black heat shrink tubing. So what you have here is 1-inch heat shrink tubing with the adhesive in it. So when this shrinks down to a 3:1, it's going to fit around this, which was about slightly smaller than 3/4 if you wrapped it, and it becomes harder and thicker. So you can barely see anything on the inside, but this stuff is amazing. And as you can see, it contours to the insert quite well. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm heating up that insert with the heat shrink tubing again, so that actually becomes soft and it's moldable, because there's a little tiny groove on the top and the bottom that engage teeth of the base core of the bumper that's on the jet ski. And I'm also heating that up because it's right behind it in line, so they're both going to be flexible, and it'll allow you to pound the insert in and not damage the heat shrink. They'll just mold around each other, and then as they cool, and they'll kind of mold into each other. Okay, here we go. So I start with the bottom first. I kind of rock it in. I get the bottom, and I pound the top. Just like that. So now I got the bumper all done. I actually had to cut the insert a little bit because it stretched a little. But you can see the heat shrink is all wrapped in there. It's a good cross section of what this looks like with the adhesive.